Welcome to Color Me in Sound, Black Creative Series, where the voice, vision, and victories of Black women creatives take center stage. I am your host, Angel Taylor. Each week we sit with extraordinary women whose work blends innovation, healing, and purpose. Today's guest is Nikki Shantell, a federal law enforcement retiree turned entrepreneur and founder of IdentiSure, a Code 10 company. Nikki is redefining what legacy and leadership look like by using creativity as a tool for identity, protection, and transformation. So let's dive into how her pivot became her power. Nikki!
Hi, Dr. Taylor. Hello.
Hi. Wait a minute. What am I seeing back there? I see a fan and what's happening?
So I'm here. I turn 40 tomorrow. I'm in Costa Rica under a cabana. I'm chilling today.
Hey, that is so awesome. Happy birthday to you. That is a great way to spend your birthday. And wait, and it's
Thank
still
you.
cancer season, right?
Yes, yes.
So cancers are one of my favorite people. My husband's a cancer. His birthday is 4th of July. My sister is a
Ah,
cancer. Her birthday's coming up on July 20th. My nephew's a cancer. My best friend that I had since 4th grade, her birthday was July. I mean, so many people are cancers in my life because I'm a Pisces. So we both under the same.
we
Yeah.
click. Pisces, we click. We're locked
Yes.
in.
Yes. Yes. So, oh my goodness, what a great way. Okay. So, what inspired your transition from federal law enforcement to creative entrepreneurship?
Well, I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. Like,
Oh,
I always said I was fine working a 9 to 5, getting my paycheck, and going home.
yeah.
But God had other plans. So what's the saying? Tell God your plans, he'll laugh at you.
Exactly. And
Um,
put you on a path that he think that you need to be under.
ex- exactly. My retirement, I always said I wanted to retire. It just was never in the way that I thought that I was going to retire. I ended up doing a medical retirement. So
Okay.
I retired early. And I have been praying and praying to God to point me in the direction that I'm supposed to go in to make sure I'm doing his will
Yeah.
and fulfilling my purpose, but also helping people. That's always been my calling.
Yes.
And last month in June,
Okay.
I got a phone call from a friend, and he was just talking to me, telling me his what he had going on, and he always asked, "What do you have going on?" And I
Okay.
was like, "Well, I'm thinking about eventually doing fingerprints, but I need a location." And then he stated, "I have this complex that I manage here in Macon. So if you need a location, you can always use this location." And I'm like,
Wow.
you know what? Maybe I can think about that. That conversation went from God saying, you know what? We're going to take this a step further.
Yeah.
Your background in federal law enforcement has created you the opportunity that you have we had to go through a tier 5 background check. So basically, I have the opportunity to get top secret clearance. And
Wow.
I never realized like what I did to get that job, that is something that not everybody would be able to do.
Yes, ma'am.
So with that being stated, I started looking at government contracts, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with that. And it landed into me turning into IdentiSure and doing background checks, fingerprinting. But most importantly, I added on background checks for dating safety because we are in a world of online dating. You don't know who you're meeting.
Yeah, and it's been proven that it's a dangerous game out there.
It is. And so I'm the person who, like, before I even give out my phone number, I'll tell a guy in a heartbeat, no, I don't give out my number. I do a background check first.
Right.
And I've never had an issue with it because I'm law enforcement, maybe, or because they're just like, okay, whatever, you could check me out. But I said, let me
Mhm.
take this a step further and let me do this for other women or men who are out here actively dating. And then also I see the other side because I'm also a part-time investigator with the state.
Okay.
I work with investigating cases that involve sexual offenses.
Mm,
And it's so difficult reading about kids or adults or whomever it may be that's being sexually assaulted, that are being victimized.
yeah.
So
Especially for you when you knew that ahead of time you could have played a role in helping prevent this, right?
exactly. And I also took it a step further. So I turned into a victim advocate as well. I've partnered with a nonprofit in Atlanta called Power Atlanta, and
Okay.
I offer victim advocacy services. So if
Nice.
anyone needs to go and see a like law enforcement, tell them what happened to them, I'm willing to go with them to make them feel comfortable.
Wow. That is great. That is great. And I think even as a mom, knowing that my daughter is out there dating, if I was able to get some background checks on some of these guys, that would put me at ease also.
It definitely helps. It makes a big difference. Now it at least paints a little picture early on,
Yeah.
because what I've seen, which is unfortunate, is that most of the sexual offenders, they have a history of domestic violence or battery charges, um, even like burglary charges that may very well could have been a sexual offense. They had in the intent of it being a sexual offense, but
Yeah.
they weren't caught in the act. So I'm out here trying to protect us, especially Black women.
Right. Well, thank you for all that you're doing. So, I know earlier before we came on camera, you described your style as boldly grounded elegance with a purposeful edge. What does that look like in your day to day work?
Oh my God, it's an iguana right here, y'all. I wish I could flip the camera so you could see it. Okay. Everything that I do is bold. Um, I noticed just being as a little kid, like that's just been my MO. So I'm going to do everything that I do bold, strong, loudly, and proud, because
Yes.
God has put it in me to do what I'm supposed to do. And I have to be
Yes.
able to walk around in my purpose and in my light that way. I can't worry about how other people view me. I just know what my purpose is, and that's what I'm here for.
Nice. So, the name of the company is IdentiSure, a Code 10 company. How did you come up with that name?
I didn't come up with it on my own. Let me tell you,
Okay.
Chat GPT is a beast.
Yes. Your assistant chat. Yeah.
Chat GPT is a beast. Once you learn how to utilize Chat GPT properly, and I thank God for Cami, because she's the one who really told me how to utilize Chat GPT to make it
Okay.
beneficial to me. But
Okay.
Chat GPT helped me come up with the idea. But I wanted to incorporate law enforcement in it. So that's where the code 10 comes from, because
Okay.
in law enforcement, there's a 10 code that we use.
Okay.
Um,
Can you say
and
what the code 10 means, or that's only for law enforcement to know what that means?
now the code 10 is bad, because really the code 10, when you're on regular police, like that's like burglary charge. But
Okay.
I mixed it in because it's really a 10 code, but I flipped it, but because 10 is my favorite number.
Okay.
And then I'm all about everything that you do, you must do it with a code, with integrity.
Ah, got it. Got it. And so the IdentiSure,
The
your assistant
IdentiSure.
chat said this was it.
Because I'm finding out the identities of people, or and you're just making sure that the person that you're dating, you're making sure
Okay.
that the person that you're hiring, even if you have kids and you want
Ah,
to send your kid out on a play date,
yes.
because you don't know who's in that house. You don't know
Right.
what that parent or whomever who's like, yeah, bring your kid over here. We don't know their intentions, but I can always look them up for you. All I
Nice.
need, all I need is a name and a date of birth. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
find out.
Okay. All right. Look, I'm gonna be sliding in your DM soon. So, I know that you are a creative person. So, how does being creative show up in your work?
Oh, um, my concepts, my ideas. It's so funny because growing up, I never thought that I was creative. Like, I usually thought that being creative meant you being in some type of art. But what I found out is that everything that I do has creativity behind it. How
Yeah,
I create plans or keeping people in mind, or how I create, I have like a dating share presentation, a dating safety presentation. So I
nice.
like to get creative with that to have also an interaction with the people, with the audience that I'm, or my clients, to have that type of interaction. So everything that I do has some type of creativity to it.
Nice. I like that. So now this thing that you're sharing, is it only being shared with clients, or are you like, is there somewhere that other people can find this?
Anybody can find it. I'm not only working with nonprofits or businesses or employers. It's also for individuals. You can find the website. It's www.IdentiSure.code10.com. And that's
Nice.
IdentissureCode10.com.
Okay. All right. So you
The
experienced
biggest
a
huge.
major injury that shifted your path. How did you rebuild your identity through that?
Ooh, rebuilding is a strong word because I really lost a complete sense of self. Like that injury, because it affected my lungs, I wasn't able to work out. I used to love working out. I used to love doing adventures, anything that I can do that was active. Um,
Yes.
it took a while for me to get here. I, I'm going to really tell you, it took pretty much up until this year. So,
Oh,
what? I'm 3 years in almost to get to the point where I'm like, I'm here. I am who I am now, and I'm finding my way. But it took a lot of prayer. Uh,
okay.
it took a lot of faith, and it took great doctors,
Yeah.
therapists, and family and friends. Those are the most important things that have been
Nice.
like pivotal in my life over the last
Okay.
3 years.
Wow, that is great. And now you're in Costa Rica.
I'm in Costa
Yes.
Rica.
So, I just think that that whole thing of you even being in Costa Rica is definitely an inspiration to somebody, to let them know, hey, you can overcome things and be on the other side and just be at peace with yourself. And it may not happen overnight, right?
Right. It may not happen overnight. Definitely having faith. And in order for me to get to Costa Rica, it took a lot of therapy. I,
Okay.
I'm laughing, but it took a lot of therapy to get here. When I
Yeah.
first started seeing my therapist in 2023, I told her how I wanted to have these big plans for my 40th birthday. And I'm like, I'm so scared because I haven't traveled alone by myself in years since
Mhm.
being injured. I have to take medical equipment with me everywhere I go. I have
Okay.
to look into like the air quality where I go, and I
Right.
can't be on long flights. So
Okay.
I'm telling her like I feel so restricted, but she's like, we have to be able to work through this. So from
Right.
2023 up until last week, no, actually
Okay.
Monday before I left, Monday before I left, I've been working on this vacation.
Nice. Well, you know what? Kudos to the therapist, because this is a big accomplishment. And I think that she helped you with a goal that you wanted to accomplish. So, oh, that is amazing.
Definitely, definitely.
What do you think is the most misunderstood aspect of reinvention?
Um, I think that we kind of think that it's like a one way thing. Like, I guess people think that, okay, I'm reinventing myself and I'm just going up now. No, it could be a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
So my motto became taking things day by day.
Okay.
If this
Okay.
thing jumps up at me, I'm a freak out. I'm sorry.
Uh, I'm gonna freak out for you.
It's just looking at me.
Oh, he probably enjoying this interview too.
It
So
must
now
be.
you mentioned your AI assistant. How do you think using that technology helps you without losing your human touch?
Because I'm telling it exactly how to use it in my tone and a way that I want people to see me, not for what AI is. So I'm
Okay.
utilizing AI as an assistant, but I'm telling it exactly what I need to say and using it in my tone of voice,
Okay.
which is it's amazing how it can pick up, especially if you've been using it for a while already, then it's
Yeah.
already learning you.
Yeah.
So then if I find something that I don't like, then I tell it, no, that's not
Okay.
correct. I need you
Okay.
to fix this and turn it into X, Y, and Z. Include this
Okay.
in it.
Okay. So I know you talked about collaborating with some of the nonprofits and working with other agencies. How does that collaboration impact the way that you're building or growing your company?
Um, it's actually bringing in my first clients because
Okay.
I'm not having to go out here and necessarily market.
Nice.
Um, like I stated, everything is so fresh. I had this idea. God said, go and file this DBA. On Monday,
Oh,
I was in the office filing the DBA.
wow.
By the end of the week, I had the website up and running. By that
Nice.
next week, I already had additions to my website. And once I started making calls and letting people know, hey, I'm just using my God given talent. Like I'm using the talent that I have, I'm using my background, I'm using what God already gave me to
Mm-hmm.
create this company.
Right.
Everything just started flowing. I actually have a dating coach that I have been in contact with, and I'm officially booked to do a speaking engagement with this dating coach as well. So I'm excited about that.
Did y'all hear that? Yay!
So things can definitely happen in 30 days or less. When God
Right.
says move, you got to move.
Yes, we got to add go getter to your name too. That's right. So, what does legacy look like to you, and how are you building it through IdentiSure, a Code 10 company?
Legacy to me is everything because I'm such a selfless person. Like the things that I do isn't necessarily for me. I'm setting things up, but I don't have any kids. But for me, my legacy is leaving a stamp for my nieces and my nephews.
Okay.
Um, and leaving a stamp for the world to be able to say, hey, like we're out here. Things happen. God never said that things were going to be easy, but we have
Right.
to know how to pivot and get things done. And as long as I can be a show of that for at least one person, that's enough for me. I can touch
Yeah.
one person and I'm good to go.
Nice. So, in doing your business, do you ever get creative or emotional blocks? Like, just have some kind of block. And if you do, what do you do when those blocks happen?
I definitely get blocks. But I tell myself I just need to chill out. Like we go so hard so much, um,
Yeah.
and don't know what being still means. And God had already set everything up for me to learn what being still truly meant.
Right.
So it's not an issue for me to go sit down, relax for a little bit, and then come back to it because I know at the end of the day I'm gonna figure it out.
Hmm. Yes. So, what advice would you give someone that's struggling to shift out of survival mode and into their purpose?
Whew. One, take your time for yourself. Um, I've always been the person who is the go-to person for everyone, family, friends. And it was hard for me to know that in the midst of my storm, I couldn't be there for my family and friends, but
Okay.
they showed up stronger than ever. And then that
Oh,
it gave me the sense of it's gonna be okay. Like, you don't have to be the strong one all the time. Like, it's okay to take a step back and focus on self, because when you're focusing on self in a situation like that, that's not being selfish.
right.
So I would say definitely take time for you, do what you need mentally. Um, and I can tell you, like, the little things, hair, nails, dressing up, those things actually made a big difference for me in
Okay.
those mental moments when I were down. Because it was times that I literally just sat in my closet for about 8 months strong, and I laid in that closet and I just cried. I cried and I
Oh,
prayed. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to do anything. I
yeah.
couldn't put on clothes. Like, it was, I was literally out of breath putting on clothes. The only thing that I could wear were like sweatsuits and stuff. Um, so then one day I decided, I said, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to get up. I'm going to start getting my hair done. I'm going to get my nails done when I can, because I can't take
Yeah.
the chemicals necessarily all the time. And I'm going to get dressed. I'll start getting dressed up just to go to the doctor's office. Like,
Okay.
and people are like, you got a date? No.
Right. And it makes you feel better, right?
It makes you feel better. So don't
Yeah.
feel bad about doing those small things for yourself, because those small things go a long way.
Right. And I think sometimes also it's important to know to ask for help sometimes. Don't feel
Definitely.
like you have to do everything alone, right?
Oh, and that is so hard for a lot of us,
It
especially
is.
when you're
It
so used.
definitely is.
Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, that was like the toughest thing. But
Yeah.
our family showed up and showed out each and every time. And
Yeah.
God showed up and showed out each and every
Right.
time.
Right. So now we talked earlier about how you feel working with people for IdentiSure or Code 10 Company. What do you want people to feel after working with you?
It's safe. I
Okay.
want them to feel safe. Um, Now, granted, everything is not guaranteed, and we know that. Like I said,
Uh-huh.
it just paints a picture. But I want you to feel safe and secure in your decisions. That's what it's
Yeah.
all about.
Yeah.
Because I, the training that I got, like, I've always been this person that does background checks. My family members call me. I have nieces that say, I don't want you to know his name and his date of birth, because I already know you're going to look
They
him up.
already know. Right.
So this was before my law enforcement career. I've always been this person. I didn't know that this was going to turn into what it has turned into.
Okay. Okay. What does success look like to you today, and how has that changed over time?
Um, Little steps to me is success, because there was a time that I never thought that I was going to see my 40th birthday.
Mm,
So I take pride in the little things that I've accomplished, like setting up that website in under a week,
yeah.
getting this getting involved with the nonprofit, and getting this opportunity with the dating coach. Like, that email just came in last night. And I was
Oh,
so happy, because I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. But
nice.
success isn't, I don't think it's just when it's never about making all the money or anything like that. Because if you're doing something that you're passionate about and something that's really going to help people, the money is going to come anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was never about that. It was just me trying to make sure that people are literally out here being safe, because I see, I've seen too much, I've read too much in my field. And if I can give the opportunity for a lady, a Black woman, to be safe out here, I'd rather give you that opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Look out for us. We need people like you looking out for us. That's for sure. If your story had a tagline, what would it be, and why would that it be that tagline?
Hmm. Pivot is my favorite word.
Okay.
Um, Learning to pivot would
All
be my
right.
tagline,
Oh,
because that's all I've had to do over the last 3 years. I've had to figure it out. I've had to be a fighter for myself. I've had to, like so many of us Black women, we've had to fight to be heard, to be seen.
yeah.
And I've been doing that for myself for the longest, but I've learned how to figure this stuff out. So
Hmm.
learn to pivot.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So you already told us your website, but tell us your website again. Tell us your social media platforms just so everyone can know.
Okay. My website again, www.IdentiSureCode10.com. That's IdenTissurecode10.com. You can find me on Instagram at tail_Nikki. And what else am I on? Nikki Shantell on Facebook and
Okay.
on TikTok.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your vacation to talk to me today. I really appreciated that. And I really enjoyed this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful birthday.
Thank you so much, and cheers.
Cheers! Yay! All right. Thank you for listening to Color Me in Sound. Nikki Shantell reminds us that life isn't about staying in one lane. It's about knowing when to shift gears with purpose. Through every reinvention, she brings a grounded elegance and bold resilience that pushes others to do the same. Follow Nikki's journey, support her work with IdentiSure, a Code 10 company, and let her story be a reminder that there's power in your pivot. Until next time, lead with integrity, live with intention, and keep coloring your path with courage.